That's when I would say, so typically, this is what the words I'll use, right? So typically, to work with us through a process like this begins at price point. Whether you want to roll out a promotional campaign, an email sequence, or a webinar, understanding these 3 ingredients changed everything for me. And in this video, I want to be able to take you behind the scenes to a recent call that I did to show you exactly how to utilize these 3 ingredients that will make all the difference in your conversions, because that's ultimately how people make any decision to make any investment or any purchase. And when you start applying, implementing these ingredients, it will take your conversions to a whole new level. So with that said, let's begin and take you behind the scenes to the call that I recently did to show you how you can start applying this regardless of what market you might be in. Let's begin. Right, the psychology of this person is stressed out. This person has, this page that they're on is not the first page they're on, right? They've explored going pure vegan. They've explored drinking green juice. They've explored, obviously, thought about chemo and radiation and as well as surgery. So right now, if we started off with just the intellectual side of things, which is data and numbers, which is important, obviously, they're not going to be listening to it in the first place because they're all over the place. Okay, so first person we have up is Phil Lange. I hope I said your name right.
What we're looking, basically, I work on the thing to help people live better and live longer. And the product that we are now on the market, it is something to help people to heal from cancer in a natural way with Nobel Prize medical technologies that we do. And this is really our product. And right now, what we have a quite expensive acquisition cost. Okay, I will say that we have more a sales process. It is also why I joined the program to really fine tune the funnel and everything. We have an acquisition cost of about 1,700 euro per client. We have a high ticket sales, which is 35,000.
It was 35,000. So let's understand a few things first, okay? So to get everybody aligned, number one, Phil is selling a high ticket product. It's $35,000. Right now, his cost to acquire a client is about 1,700 euros with a conversion rate of about 1.5% to 3%. Okay, so Phil says he's spending about 25,000 euros a month, mainly through Google, YouTube. The issue is also because of the nature of the topic. There's also it's a sensitive topic, obviously. So there's a lot of things that you can and can't say, especially. So we got to talk about how do we scale it, as well as how do we thread on a sensitive topic like this. Okay, great. So what is the thing that is applicable to all of you? We're going to take a look at, probably this is going to be our high ticket offer application funnel. We're going to take a look at the sales process. And ultimately, for those of you who want to be able to sell high ticket, this would be a good case study for you guys to learn through Phil as well. You mentioned that right now your cost to acquire a customer is approximately 1,700, and a customer is worth about 35,000 euros high ticket. Right now you're spending about 25,000 euros. What is stopping you from scaling deeper with a bigger ad budget? What do you think is the number one roadblock for you to do that?
Yeah, in fact, what you have to know is that, so it's not in a funnel, so it's not automatized, it's not automatized. And one of the big problem is the framing of the client, because this means that, imagine that we receive about 1,000 leads a month, and we have to give 1,000 phone calls a month. We cannot employ 30 people to call to the people, because we have to train our inquiry team. So I think for me, the thing which is the most important is the kind of validate the people to, for me, the idea should be probably, but I would be very interested, of course, of what you think about that. But of the target of the funnel would be more about pre-framing the people, pre-validating the people, and then they could apply for a call. Because the problem is that, in fact.
Phil, I am very happy that you got it. This is exactly it, right? You are very problem aware. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the things that we can work on. Let's talk about how can we pre-frame. Okay, Phil, nailed it on his head, which is Right now, there's all these leads coming in with the ad spend, but the problem is you don't really know how qualified the lead is. So what we need to do differently is, rather than sending people straight to the contact form, we need to be able to have them to an application funnel. Okay, so what we need to do is to be able to pre-frame, that's the goal for application funnel, so that we get less leads, but significantly more qualified. What can we do or say in order to show our audience and demonstrate value, right? And pre-qualify. So what we want to be able to do is we want to think about these few things first. Okay, number one, okay, so very similar to like a sales video, we want to think about, well, the first component is, can we kind of demonstrate and illustrate what the problem is? Okay. Number two, what is the proposed solution? Can we show proof? And finally, can we have some sort of qualifier? Who is this for? Who is this not for? Okay. What is the price point to expect? You don't have to mention the exact price, but you, at the very least, need to mention like working with us begins from. You can see that legacymentoring.com follows this process, follows this flow. You'll be able to model it in terms of like the flow and the architecture. Okay, so let's begin with this. First of all, let's begin with the problem. Okay, Phil, in your market, I know that, first of all, do you have like walk us through, what do you think the problem is in your marketplace?
So the thing here is that, of course, people usually, when they come back to us, it's because they feel desperate because they do not have any classical solution. So sometimes it's too late, but not always, of course. And the problem is really to understand that there are other solutions, the classical one with chemotherapy, surgery, and so on, you know, because we come with an approach which is non-aggressive, I would say, to the body. And it is one of the causes that makes them more hesitating, because they say, oh, if it will work, what do I already not know it? You know, it's the same thing. You don't know what you don't know. And it's really about this point. So it's my perception, but I don't know. Because for everyone, cancer is an image of danger, of death, of something which is not so positive. If you learn you are cancer, you are not very happy about it, of course.
Imagine if you started off with the problem, we've identified that there are all these different ways, right? Now, when we transition to the solution, which is the second part, the solution is to deal with the root cause, the thing that's actually triggering it, and not so much on the symptom. So this is where you could say, now there are many different ways of treatment, and unfortunately, many ways treats just the symptoms, but it doesn't cause what's triggering it. Once we have the solution, so what's the solution? Dealing with the origin, the root cause, what's triggering it. Let's say, with my limited knowledge on this topic, let's say one of the things that could be a solution is, now if you to go deeper, right now we got to be able to give value. Okay, so if we were to go deeper, it could be coming from the angle of, let's say, keeping the body in an alkaline state.
Excuse me, Peng Joon. Excuse me. I will simply tell you in 2 words what we are doing, because I think it's important. Basically, of course, we look at the patient, we look at the diet, the stress, and everything, but this is not what is really makes the difference. What we do, we take the blood of the person, we process in 10 days in a lab, and we boost all the cells in the immune system that we multiply. We teach the cells to have the information of the cells that kills cancer. This process takes 10 days. It's based on a Nobel Prize of 2011, so, which is in medicine, that it's called DCT, dendritic cell therapy. And after 10 days, the blood will re-inject it in the patient.
Right, so this is a great way, right, to boost your immune system. So what I want to be able to hear is, once you've identified the problem, you go to the solution, understand root cause. So that means that one of the root causes could be a low immune system, right? And how you can utilize this and boost up your own immune system by taking your own blood, reprocessing it, and then re-injecting it with, and then explain that whole process that you just did in a more thorough way. So that would be the solution. But at the same time, I also want to be able to show them that whatever solution that they go for, like all solutions, if it requires any type of medical treatment, is going to be expensive. It's important to mention, so whether you go for chemo, surgery, or a treatment like this, obviously, it's going to be one of the biggest decisions that you make. Therefore, we want to make sure that this is the right one for you. Now, working with us isn't cheap. It begins at $35,000, and it would be crucial to make sure that we're the right fit for each other so that you know exactly what it is that you're walking into. And this is where we need to make sure that you're qualified. So this is where I would say something like, obviously, procedures like these isn't cheap. Now, listen to my language. Whether you go for chemo, whether it's surgery, whether it is something like this, the question here is whether, which one is the best based on you, your body type, your blood type, and if you are ready for this. Okay, so that's when I would say, so typically, this is what the words I'll use, right? So typically, to work with us through a process like this begins at price point. So this is where I'm going to transition the call to action. This is where I'm going to say, so this is where right below this video, there is a button to arrange for a strategy call. And this strategy call is, okay, notice what I'm doing right now, right? I'm linking the call to action with a benefit. Okay, I'll come to that in a second. And I'll say, so the purpose of this strategy call, by the end of that call, there's going to be these two outcomes. Okay. The first outcome is we'll walk you through the process, how the treatment works, if based on your body type, based on your current physique, based on the other alternatives that you have. The first outcome is you decide, hey, I'm now a lot more aware of how this process works, but I feel that this is not the right fit for me. Okay, if that's the outcome, then great. You'll know exactly, what are your other outcomes and if this is the right fit for you. The second outcome is you decide, hey, you know what? Utilizing this non-invasive method that is a lot more natural, that utilizes my body's natural immune system is the right fit for me, and I want to be able to proceed with this. That's the second outcome. If that's the second outcome, that's great too. But the goal of this call is to help you make that informed decision, because let's face it, this is probably going to be one of the most important decisions that you'll make in life. So we want to be able to help you, support you make that decision. And all you got to do if you want to be able to apply is to click on this link below. Okay, so notice how this first piece here, right, kind of glues these 5 elements together. Now, when a person's applying, guess what? They are aware of the problem. They are aware of the solution. They understand your story and your why and the proof. They understand the qualifier that this is where, how much it begins. Okay. And then there is a call to action that gives them incentive to apply now. Okay. If you add these 5 ingredients together, this is what's going to help you get much better quality clients that isn't going to waste your time or your team's time when they get on the call, that understands and has a gauge of what your price point is, that you're able to serve a lot better because they know exactly what it is that they're walking into as well, right? Without being salesy, without being pushy, but genuinely helping them at the same time. Let's go back to you. If you were to kind of glue these 5 things together, now obviously, at first attempt, it's not going to be perfect, but I want to be able to listen to what it would be. So from the top, just off the top of your head, if you utilize these 5 things, what would that sound like?
Okay, I just have one question before, Peng Joon. When you talk about the price, you do not talk about the price compared to what, or you simply say the price and do not go there? Because here, I think it is important to make the relative decision. I don't know, it's really what's the benefit of this. Is this something you talk about when you talk about the price, or you say that in another moment in the sales process?
So I will talk about the price for sure. But when I talk about the price, I'm also showing the value of it. I've already demonstrated the value of it when I talk about the solution. Because what we want to be able to do is want to pre-frame and come from the angle of it's minimally invasive, okay? Unlike surgery, where you have to go under the knife. It's going to be pain-free. So problem, solution, introducing yourself, the proof or the story, right? Qualifying them, to show them that it's not for everybody, mentioning a price point, and then having some sort of call to action. If you were to glue these 5 elements together, how would that sound like?
Hi, if you're reaching this video right now, it's because you're really facing now the problem, how to face with your cancer and how to go there and to go to the next step to go there. So probably you know that it can really lead to fatal issues, and now you really have to be aware to take the right decision to know what will be the next good thing to do. Depending on the really tight, no, this is not one. You have to know that it's important that there are different solutions at the classical surgery, cell or chemotherapy systems. It's really like about, I take here the example of the car. If you have a problem in your car, which a red light is arriving because there is not enough oil, do you remove the light or put a sticker on the light, or do you really try to check what's happening in your car and fix a solution about that? This is important because about there are natural things where you can really give to your body what is necessary to fix itself the solution about that, and really in this way completely naturally increase your life expectancy directly of a significant value depending on the cancers that you have. Now, you know, I really started that because myself, I lost my mother really through a brain cancer within a few months. If I knew some techniques that could have saved them from what she has to go away before passing away, I should have really worked in like that. But now I could not do it something like this. I really want to help now other people that can do this process. And this technique is based on the Nobel Prize Medicine in 2011. And now we have 100 of testimonials of people that go through that to different types of cancer, as well from people from 20, then from people from 60, or even people from 80 or 85, which are there, which really shows that it can work. It really depends of course, your status, if you have still enough power in your immune system to boost it and to go in this way. And it's clear that it's not something that it has a cost like a surgery, like a chemotherapy. Here the cost is about, here the cost starts at 35,000. But you have to know that if you do a surgery, not only the cost is very high, of course, there, but also if you do a surgery with spread cancer cells all over your body, starting and moving to a metastase story, it also has a side effect of chemotherapy that will get down your immune system instead of bringing in you more stronger. So now it's you really want to see, if you are qualified really to go to this process, we can offer you a consultation with a doctor to really talk about your specific case and to see how we can help you to be there. And we really invite you simply to contact us and fill here at the agenda where you can have a call. And there we will do 2 things. We will really check with you what could be the benefit and how you can really improve your health and increase your life expectancy, whatever is your choice, and to be aware of the good decision to be there. And if you're really ready and if it's applicable and if we can help you, so it will be a great thing to do to help you to go and to build a better life and live longer.
Okay,
so
great attempt. Great
Nice.
first attempt. I think based on this, you have a rough outline. Okay, so let's talk about the element that is, I would say, is the most important element that I felt was missing in here. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you guys what it is explicitly. You guys are going to hear it for yourself. So if we can begin with story, emotion, and connection, which is really like when I was looking at, you know, this page over here, right? So when I looked at the world of immunity, when I read this paragraph, right, along with you guys, like to me, this is the why, right? The why, it's like the driving force and how you discovered this, right? So when we can begin with that personal story, now obviously in a typical application funnel, you, me, if you're in marketing, it wouldn't be like that, but we got to understand that the right message to market match. Okay, so if you can begin that way and have that human, where it's more human than just, and it's hard than just intellectual, even though intellectual is of course, you know, really important, and to have that balance, that is the key here to having your audience know, like, and trust this process.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's very, very strong. And thank you. Thank you. I really hope this helps everyone, because for me, it's really about, it's a very interesting thing. And of course, you understand our why. But the thing which is there is really how to reach a maximum of people to be aware and take care of themselves, of their family, of course.
Great. And yeah, you're welcome, Phil. So to kind of conclude this first section, right, before I move on to section, because I want to be able to clear and give you that game plan over the next few months. So it's really important to understand like the psychology of this person right now, right? Obviously, they're thinking about their family. They're thinking about, yes, themselves. They're thinking about their future. They're thinking about loved ones. They're thinking if they're going to make it. They're thinking of, you know, there's all these different options. Everybody is trying to get them to see this specific option. And the thing that's going to make them feel safe is when you come from the angle of, look, this is going to be probably one of the biggest decisions in your life. And we are here to help you make that informed decision so that you know what would be the next thing to move forward with, right? So that you'll be able to know if this thing's for you. Well, I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes to this coaching call. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, be sure to smash the like button. It does help the channel out a little bit. And to subscribe to this channel if you want to be notified of future videos just like this one. Now, some of you asking me, how can I be part of this process? How can I ask you questions? How can I have you coach me or mentor me? We want to make sure that we are working with the people that's the right fit. You'll need to fill up a form. There's a link right below this video. Somebody on my team might give you a call to interview you to see if the right fit for each other. And if you want to apply and see if you're a good fit, then all you need to do is click on this link in the description box below and my team will be in touch with you.